afternoon, salam sejahtera, salam Malaysia prihatin and salam terus menjulang Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak to yang berusaha, officers from Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak and officers from Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah. Yang dihormati Cikgu Salbi binti Abu Bakar, yang dihormati Cikgu Doria anak kahwin, our presenters for this afternoon's webinar Kecemerlangan, SPM Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak 2021, teachers, students and fellow audience. Welcome to webinar Kecemerlangan SPM JPN 2021 organized by Sektor Pembelajaran Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak. The topic of this webinar is Bengkel Kecemerlangan Mata Pelajaran Bahasa Inggeris SPM 2021. I'm Cikgu Dayang Zulina from SM Sains Miri and I'll be the moderator for paper 1, which is Reading and Use of English. We would like to give our appreciation to those who are watching this webinar today, especially teachers and students. Your participation is very much appreciated. We hope that by the end of the program, you will gain additional knowledge to better prepare yourselves for your upcoming SPM Bahasa Inggeris 2021. For this session, we are delighted to have Cikgu Salbi binti Abu Bakar from SMK Tunku Abdul Rahman Kuching and Cikgu Doria anak kahwin from SMK Gedong Simunjan. So let's get to know a bit about our presenters today. Cikgu Salbi has been teaching English language subject in secondary schools for 14 years. She has a bachelor's degree in TESOL from UNIMAS and a master's degree in TESOL from UITM. Cikgu Doria, on the other hand, has 20 years teaching experience in English language and is currently the Ketua Bidang Bahasa in SMK Gedong. So the presentation session will be about 1 hour 15 minutes, followed by Q&A session. If you have any question, please write it down and post it when the live chat opens. Without further ado, please welcome Cikgu Salbi binti Abu Bakar, who will be presenting parts 1, 2 and 3, followed by Cikgu Doria for parts 4 and 5. So please welcome Cikgu Salbi. Thank you.
Wait for a while. I'm sharing my slide. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have a wait for a while. This seems to be like. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Can see the slide. All right, okay, sorry for the technical problems, all right. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon, okay, to officers from Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, officers from Pejabat Pendidikan Daerah Kuching, all viewers out there, especially teachers and students. First and foremost, okay, I would like to thank, okay, our beloved monitor, moderator, Ms. Dayang Zulina, and not to forget, thank you to our organizer, Jabatan Pendidikan Negeri Sarawak, for inviting me and my team to conduct this webinar. So without further ado, okay, for a kickstart, let's shout out, okay, JPNS tagline. Let's do it together. Fly, Kenyalang fly, fly high. All right, thank you everyone. Okay, for your information, right, for my session, right, okay, I will focus on paper 1, and the parts that I'm going to share will be part 1, part 2, part 3, and the other parts, okay, will be shared by my partner, Miss Doria, later on. Okay, so far, I think, okay, by now, Form 5 student should have already well versed, okay, with, okay, the new format, all right, the new format of SPM paper 1, particularly, okay, paper 1. There are 5 parts in paper 1. For part 1, students will be given 8 short text and 8 multiple choice question, and the mark is 8 marks. In part 2, there is 1 closed text and 10 multiple choice, and the mark is 10 marks. For part 3, students will be provided with a longer text and 8 multiple choice question, and the full mark is 8 marks. For part 4, there is a gap text and 6 question. The marks is 6 marks. The last part of this paper is part 5. In this part, there are 6 short texts and 8 questions. This paper consists of 40 questions, and each question is worth 1 mark. The duration of this paper is 1 hour and 30 minutes. Right? For your information, especially, okay, Form 5 student out there, right? Okay, this paper carries 25%, okay, weightage of the final result of English paper. So remember, all right, okay, so just to remind Form 5 students, okay, for the English, for the SPM English paper, okay, all the 4 papers are important, as the weightage, okay, as the weightage of it for each paper is 25%. All right, okay. What are the reading skills tested in paper 1? There are 4 skills, and the skills are understanding, applying, okay, analyzing, and evaluating. All right, teachers and students out there, here are the tips on how to answer part 1. All right, okay. First, try to answer easy question. Okay, easy question first, student. Leave the difficult questions by circling the question number. Okay. Next, okay, you are given only 1 hour and 30 minutes, so you need to use the time wisely. After you have answered all the questions, revisit the question that you have not answered. Okay, don't leave any questions. Make sure you answer all the questions. Be careful when you blacken the answer. Okay, the answers in the answer sheet. Make sure you blacken in the correct space. Okay, recheck the answers that you have blackened in the answer sheet before submitting the paper. All right, okay, let's start with part 1. As I mentioned earlier, for this part, okay, there are 8 short texts and 8 multiple choice questions. All right, there are some tips on how to answer part 1. Okay, in this paper, okay, student will be given 8 short texts and 8 multiple choice questions. All right, okay, read the short text carefully. All right, so for this short text, okay, there are various of extracts such as advertisements, notices, news reports, and messages. Okay, messages and articles. Okay, so read the question carefully. Okay, underline words like true, not true, except, or other important keywords. Reread the short text and underline the keywords or clue. Read the options given. The options will be, there are 3 options, option A, B, and C. And one of them will be one correct answer, and the rest will be the distractors, the 2 distractors. So choose the best answer, okay, by analyzing the keywords, clues in the text with the options given. So this part carries 8 marks. All right, okay, there are 2 methods on how to answer multiple choice question. All right, use the first method if the distractors given are obviously not related to the text. Okay, you can see it clearly. So choose the best answer by eliminating the 2 distractors. If another one will be if, for example, like if the distractors are also the alternatives, alternatives given in the text, but you need to select the best option. Analyze all the alternatives given in the option, then eliminate each distractor. Right, so you can use the symbol of tick for best answer or correct answer, or cross the distractors or incorrect option to ensure you select the correct to ensure that you select the correct answer. All right, now due to time constraints, I can only demo one question on how to choose the correct answer. Let's start. So let's take a look at this first sample. All right, the short text used in this question is a dialogue. To answer this question, first tip, student need to read the text. After that, read the question, underline the keyword in the question. So the keyword in the question is the word best. All right, then reread the text and underline the keywords or clue. The clue is overwhelming. All right, a good turnout. Tables were completely taken. All right, and then 500,000 ringgit. So they managed to raise about 5,100 ringgit. And another one is donation, and then they were donation and sponsorship. Next you need to analyze the option given one by one, as all the options listed in this question are positive adjectives. So when you want to eliminate the distractors, write a cross next to the option and a tick for the best answer. Let's take a look at the option. Now do you think option A is the best answer? So the word effective will be the best if the 2 girls talk about the strategies or methods used by the organizer, right, to ensure the organization of Tuna's charity is a success. So this word, the word effective, right, is not the best option. So don't forget to cross the option, this option. So what about the word victorious? Do you think this option is the best option? The word victorious will be the best option if the 2 girls talk about how Tuna's charity won an award after competing with another charity. So this indicate that option B is not the correct answer or the best answer. So we need to cross this option. All right. So cross this option. What about the last option? If you refer to the underlined keyword in the text, the option is the best option for underline keyword in the text. This option C is the best option for this question. So take this option to indicate that this option is the best option, and don't forget to circle the correct answer. All right, so I can only demo with you if you use especially the student for one question, because we don't have enough time. So here are some few samples that use different types of short text. So this one is a notice, and the important this one is a notice, and the important words that you need to highlight is the word true. All right, the next one the next short text text is an advertisement. So the keyword in this question that need to be underlined is the word true. All right, okay, the next one, okay, the short text used in this text is a notice. Okay, the important word that you need to underline in this question, okay, is the word accept. All right. Another sample is a poster. Okay, so the important word that need to be underlined is tell. Okay, the poster tell us that. Okay, tell. All right. Right. This is a sample of an extract of a text. Okay, the keyword here is main idea. Right. Okay, this one is also a sample of an extract of a text, but the keyword used in this question is a bit, okay, it's different than the one, okay, in the previous sample. The previous sample is on main idea. For this question, the keyword is main concern. All right, okay, so, okay, you need to underline the word, the keyword main concern. And the last sample is another extract of a text also. Okay, an extract of the text. So the key word of this question is golden touch. All right. Okay. So this question tests students' understanding on the phrase given in the text. Okay, that's the end of part 1. All right. If there is any question regarding this part, okay, I will try to answer during Q&A session. All right. Okay. Let's continue with part 2. Okay, in part 2, student will be given a closed text with 10 blanks. There are 10 multiple choice question. All right. This part tests student knowledge of grammar usage and vocabulary in context. There are 4 options, which are A, B, C, and D. Given for each blank. All right. So students need to choose the best answer. So this part carries 10 marks. All right, here are some tips on how to answer part 2. Read the text carefully and then identify the main idea of the text. Okay, what is the text all about? And then identify the text type and the tense of the text, whether present tense or past tense. Maybe you need this, identify. And then identify the part of the speech, of each blank, whether it's verb, adjectives, noun, adverb, preposition, or etc. So read the option given. All right, there are 4 options. A, B, C, and D. One will be the correct answer, and the other 3 will be the distractors. To identify the best option, use the keywords or clue in the text. Read the sentence before, and after the blank. All right. This is the sample. Right. Now let's try to answer one item. For this item, all the options are adverbs. So maybe some of you, when you take a look at these adverbs, they seems to be like more or less the same. All right. So to attend this question, you need to analyze each question. How to analyze this question? All right. So you need to know, the meaning of each word, all right? Then you need to use the keywords or clue in the text to help you to identify the best answer, all right? All right, these are the list of the options and their meanings. The meanings listed in the table are based on the Cambridge Dictionary. All right, so we need to refer Cambridge Dictionary since we are under CEFR. So when you look at the meaning, for each option, for example, clearly, right? The use of clearly is to show that one thing, something is obvious or certain. All right. And then, the adverb exactly, is used to increase, emphasis. And then particularly means especially. All right. And the last option will be specifically, this one is for a particular is used for to how to say highlight for a particular reason, purpose, or etc. etc. So after you have analyze these options, you only can analyze, all right, but during exam, you cannot refer to the dictionary. But this one you can use this method when you do the exercise to improve for this item. So after you analyze this option, the distractors are the distractor are option A, all right, because it's not all right, A. After we have that one, take a look. So A is the distractor, and then B also not fit in the blanks, not suitable, not the best answer. All right, I can put a cross there. And then C also not suitable for not the best, not the correct answer for that particular blank. All right, and the best option, so to put so cross next to the word particularly, and then the best option is specifically. All right, why specifically is the correct answer. So if you take a look at the sentence before the blank, stated that influencers can change the way people behave. So how do they do? How did they do? How did they do it? So the clue, right? They have the power, to determine other people's decision. All right, and this is the reason. All right, so don't forget to circle the correct answer. Right, all right, that's it for part 2. Now, so we still in part 2. All right, so now let's take a look at the analysis why option D is the best answer. So we use the adverb we use adverb specifically. We use adverb specifically to describe something. So something will be the influencer's effect on other people is a more detailed way. So the use of this adverb is to show how the influencers can determine other people's decision by highlighting their specific ability. So how to score this part? I'm pretty sure that students out there sure how it's not easy, all right? It seems to be like easy. It's not as easy as the one that you have done when you are in PD3, when you are in Form 3. It's more or less like error correction. So my advice, do more exercises. You can use Cambridge online dictionary to identify the meanings of each option. Then decide the best answer for that particular context. Remember, practice makes perfect. All right, let's go to the next part, which is the last part of my session, part 3. All right, part 3 is it's a longer text. So part 3, all right, students will be given a longer text with 8 multiple choice question, right? Question 19 to question 26. So this part tests students' understanding of a text. So students need to choose the correct answer from option marked A, B, C, or D. So this part carries 8 marks. All right, these are some tips on how to answer part 3. First, read the text and the question carefully. Identify the content of the text. Some questions are clearly stated the paragraph which you need to focus on in order to choose the correct option. So read the option given. So there are 4 options. Option A, B, C, and D. One of the option is the correct answer, and the other 3 are the distractors. So to identify the correct option, go through the options and relate them to the information in the text. Underline, don't forget to underline the keywords or clue in the text. You can use symbol tick or cross, the option, tick for the correct answer and cross for the distractors, to ensure that you select the correct answer. All right, this is a sample of a text. All right, now let's try to answer this question. This question is clearly stated, okay, the number of the paragraph, which is paragraph 2. Right, okay, you underline, okay, paragraph 2. So for this question, all right, students, okay, you need to identify the correct reason why the writer uses the phrase give him some space. So you need to underline the phrase, the phrase, okay, you can see the phrase in the question and in the text, all right. Let's read through the option given, all right. Option A is, okay, he respect Tanish's privacy. Let's find some clue in the text, okay. The writer want to give Tanish, okay, some space so that he would be able to sort out his issue, okay. So we highlight that, all right, okay, sorry, all right, okay. All right, and then the writer also feel bad as he keep asking Tanish about his life. Okay, so we can underline that. Okay, this will be one of the clues. Another clue is the writer hoped that, okay, after Tanish had solved all his problem, he would be the same old Tanish again. Okay, we underline that. Okay, so option A can be the correct answer. But, okay, to confirm option A is the correct answer, we cannot just ignore the rest of the options. Okay, we still need to go through the options because we can, okay, by reading through the options and analyze, okay, the option given, we can confirm that option A is the best answer. Okay, so, all right, let us take a look at option B. He feel annoyed with Tanish attitude. So in the text, there is no statement that stated the writer feel annoyed with Tanish attitude. Okay, only you can see that Tanish, okay, seems to be irritated when the writer keep on asking him about his life. So this is incorrect. So we need to give this option a cross. Okay, right. Okay, option the cross. And then let's take a look at option C. All right, sorry, option C. He was shocked by Tanish's behavior. Okay, so there is no statement in the text saying that the writer was shocked about his friend's behavior. Right, what he's trying to, okay, he's just wondering, he's just curious. So option C is incorrect. So we need to cross, okay, the option. The last option, option D, he didn't want to cause more problems, okay, for Tanish. Right, based on, okay, the text in paragraph 2, the writer was trying to help his friend, okay, but his friend didn't want him to bother about his life. So this option is also incorrect. All right, with all these clues, so this one will be incorrect, so we need to cross. So with all, okay, so with all the clues given, it is confirmed that option A is the correct answer. Okay, so give this option a tick. All right. All right, don't forget, okay, circle the answer. All right, okay, so that's it. Okay, so I have, okay, demo one sample. Okay, so that's the end of my session. Okay, I hope, all right, especially, okay, the students out there, okay, I hope all the tips that I have shared just now, okay, will help you, especially, okay, for the, especially to the form 5 student, okay, to score in your paper 1. Okay, for another 2 parts, okay, which are part 3 and part 4, my partner, Miss Doria, will share her tips with all of you. And I hope and I pray, okay, for all the Form 5 out there, all right, you will pass your exam with flying colors. So I'm going to hand over this session to Miss Doria. Don't go away, okay, guys, okay, just stay tuned.
Victoria, please unmute your sound. Unmute your mic.
All right, so thank you very much, Cikgu Salvi, for part 1, part 2, and part 3. Good evening, everyone. I am Cikgu Doria, so I'm from SMK Gedong. So I'm going to continue with my presentation on paper 4, okay, and 5. All right. Okay. Right. So I guess let's begin. Okay, now as usual, okay, I think you know already because Cikgu Salvi already mentioned to about paper 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 just now. So just get on with it. Right, so gap 4, okay, part 4, sorry, is a gap text and it consists questions 27 to 32. Okay, let's look, right? So what does gap text questions here, right? In part 4, there are 8 options. Okay, there are 6 questions altogether. 6 sentences are removed from a text and they are jumbled in order. Okay, so this part actually tests your understanding of the whole text. Okay, the flow of the text. So you must understand. Okay, and the next one is you need to understand how ideas are logically connected. So this one is the most important part. Okay, where you need to understand how logically it is connected. Okay, and you have to decide from where in the text the sentences have been removed. So this is actually a challenging part in the reading paper. Okay, but anyhow, if you keep on practicing, I believe it's going to be easy. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, here are sample of questions. Okay, here are the samples of the question that you can. I'm referring this to buku format bahasa Inggris, so you can maybe you can. I think some of you have downloaded it and you have seen the questions. So here are examples. Okay, examples of how the gap text. Okay, right. There, if you can see here, there are 8 options given, and 2 are distractors, which means they are not the correct answers. So you have a text. Okay, it could be anything. It could be just an extract from an article or newspaper report. Okay, the context is white. All right. Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, so what should you do? Okay, once you get this kind of a question, what should you do? The key word here is to read the entire passage. Okay, read first, try to summarize every paragraph. Okay, what you can do is that maybe each of the paragraph, what you can do, you just write a simple 2 or 3 words on what is the paragraph all about. Okay, then you read, don't forget to read the 8 options is very important. Okay, understand the options, right? Although there are 2 which are distractors, but it's okay, you just read them, right? Then what you do is that you read the passage again and look at the sentences before and after the missing sentences. This is very, very important where you have to read both sides, okay? Whether it's the before or the after sentences, you need to understand them. Okay, now when you read, of course, okay, you will see that you have to underline any reference words or clues, okay, that maybe is in the before and after the gap. Okay, for example, nouns, pronouns, okay, for example, like the terminus, these, those, I'm sorry, okay, things like this, adverbs, SVA, you know SVA, right? Subject verb agreements, linkers, and also tenses. Okay, I'm sorry. Pronoun in, like, for example, demonstrative. pronouns. Okay, these, those, things like this. These are also sometimes it play a role. Okay, when you read, then you indicate, oh, these are the clues that I should look at the option, the 8 options just now. Okay, so I think the rest you should know. Subject verb agreements, linkers are very important as well. Okay, so those sometimes those are the clues. Okay, right. Next one. Okay, then make sure you check again. Okay, the problem is sometimes you need to always check. Okay, you need to recheck over and over again. That is how we handle reading. Okay, make sure to check all the reference words or the clues when you are matching the sentences. So make sure when you put the sentences, does it sound correct? Okay, do you think it's, you know, sometimes when we put sentences like this, then when we read it, it sounds funny, it sounds a little bit weird. So it could be a clue for you that it's not correct. Okay, right? Then you go back to the passage again and reread the text. Okay, reread. So the point here is to reread. Right. Next, you don't have to start with the first gap. You can always start with the easiest one and then go to the hardest one. And don't forget as well to cross out the sentences you have chosen. Okay, the keyword here is to reread and recheck. So when you do your reading, okay, especially when you want to find out the answers for the gap text, you need to reread and recheck over and over again. Then don't forget to cross out the sentences that you have chosen so that you're not, mistakenly putting the answers again. All right. Okay. Next. Now let's try this. Okay. Okay. Now let's try this. So I'm giving you a little bit of time. Maybe you can just read, right? And there are 3 options here. Okay, there are 3 options. So of course 2 are distractors. So you choose which one do you. You may just chat. Just type your answers in the chat box. Okay, and let's see. Right. So here the topic is, why do people love crime stories? Okay. Now crime. If you are in Form 5, we know already, because this is in our textbook. Okay, we do have crime as our the topic. All right. So why do ordinary people enjoy crime novels? These novels include stories of horrible crime. So we can say, okay, so we can say that it's all about crime novels. Okay. So why do readers, right, of all kinds, from commuters who want reading to read on the train to grandmothers who are looking for a book at that time, choose crime novels? Okay, right. So you may just type your answers and let's see. Okay, so you just refer to the before and you refer to the after. Okay, I can see some answers over there. Very good. Okay, go on. Okay, a lot of you agree it is C. Okay, let's see. Oh, good. All right, let's see. Okay, a lot of you. Okay, right. Okay, so yeah, I can see a lot of you are choosing C as the answers. Well done, very good. Okay, right. Yeah. So the answer is indeed C. Okay, well done. Good. Why? Okay, so your answer is C. You said C. Nasty murders, violent kidnappings, dark secrets, and emotions all appear on their pages. Okay, why is the answer C? Right, sentence C, all right, it provides examples of horrible crimes. It goes here, exactly, right? So it's mentioning about all the horrible crimes. So you can see that. And then before the gap, all right, it also mentioned their pages, here pages, and it's actually referred to the novel itself. Okay, well done. All right, so here are examples. So we can see our clue here is horrible crimes. Okay, whereas the two answers options here, they did not telling you about horrible crimes. So you are choosing C. Okay, so let's read. Why do ordinary people enjoy crime novels? These novels include stories of horrible crimes, nasty murders, violent kidnappings, dark secrets, and emotions all appear on their pages. Okay, well done. All right. Okay, let's try next one. Okay, the same three options. However, so C, we're not going to choose C anymore, right? Okay, sometimes reader find the characters in the stories quite interesting. In real life, criminals often seem quite normal, but a crime novel can get inside the mind of a fictional criminal. All right, they are often shocked by the way a killer, for example, thinks, but find that they just can't stop reading. All right, so how about this one? What would be your answers? Okay, so we cross out C, no more C. Okay, so it's A or B. Okay, you may write, you may type your answers in the chat box. Okay, let's see. Well done. A lot of you answer B. Okay, well done. Good. Yes, there's no D. Okay, some of you putting D. There's no D there. I did not see any D there. All right. Okay, so a lot of you chose B. You chosen B. Okay, is that correct or not? Yes, it's correct. Well done. Okay, so to fill the gap, okay, a lot of you chose B. Okay, good. Well done. All right. Okay, let's see. Sometimes readers find the characters in the stories quite interesting. In real life, criminals often seem quite normal, but a crime novel can get inside the mind of fictional criminal. Answer: the reader is shown that their thoughts and feelings are often far from ordinary. They are often shocked by the way a killer, for example, thinks, but find that they just can't stop reading. Okay, right, so let's see why your answer is B. Okay, all right, let's see. So the sentence before the gap, okay, the sentence before the gap here, it tells the readers of a crime novel get inside the mind of a fictional criminal, and sentence B actually, explain what readers will find there. Okay, what will they find? Okay, the reader is shown thoughts and feelings. And by the way, all right, so you can see, right? It's telling you here this part. Okay, right? Okay, the sentence before the gap tells us that in real life, criminals often seem quite normal. Okay, here, criminals often seem quite normal. Okay, but the sentence after, okay, the sentence after the gap tells us that the readers are often shocked. They are often shocked, okay, by the way of a killer, for example, things. So actually, sentence B explain the contrast. Okay, it's contrasting. Okay, you know it's contrast. Okay, so it's contrast. The reader is shown that are often from ordinary here. Often. Okay, here are the contrasting. So you can then you know, oh, this is you know the correct answers. Okay, right? So okay, well done. Thank you for participating, which is very good. Okay, right. Okay, let's move. Okay, I'm sorry, but due to time constraint, maybe next time we will have this more, okay, for you to try. Okay. Now, Okay, so let's move to part 5. If you have any questions, you may ask later, yeah? Okay, part 5. Okay, this is matching and information transfer. I would say that this is quite, you can say it's the easiest one, okay? But, okay, it's not that too easy for you, but there are a lot of things that you need to know. Okay, okay, let's see. Part 5, there are 2 tasks. The first one is matching, okay? And the second one, sometimes it is going to ask you to do some information transfer. This is the same, especially those who are in Form 5, you know already, because you have said, this is more or less the same question like in PT3. Okay, there are 8 questions altogether. Okay, and these are the task formats that they might ask you. It's completion of notes. Sometimes the format is in diagrams, and sometimes matching, and also short questions answer. Okay, let's see. Here are some tips. Okay, right, let's see. Look at the task requirement here. Okay, let's look at the task requirement. And also, what should you do? So I'm going to share a little bit on tips here. Okay, what should you do? Right, the task requirement. So let's look. For example, which paragraph A to F, okay, they're giving you F to F, describes the following experiences of community service. So what you do, okay, or it's asking me about paragraph A to F. So you only need to mention alphabets. Okay, only mention alphabets. Whether it's B, D, or E, something like this. Okay, right? You do not have to write the whole thing. For example, let's say the answer is A, Shah, 16 years old. That is the title of the paragraph. So you don't have to write the whole thing. Okay, you have to write A only. For example, A, B, C, or D. The alphabets. Okay, right, next one. Which person describes the following opinion of shopping online? Right, so it says persons over here. So you only have to mention the name of the person. And the most important part in part 5 is that the spelling has to be correct. Okay, the spelling, capitalizations it has to be the same, just like the text. Okay, right? Okay, let's move to the next one. Okay, now this is question 37 to 40. Okay, the task requirement, let's say, okay, complete the notes below. Okay, here we are talking about the notes. Okay, from below using information from the text. Choose no more than one word. It says here one word. So, meaning, okay, you only have to put your answers one word only. One word. Okay, for example, let's say the task requirements. Complete the diagram. So, it's giving you a diagram. Using information from the text, choose no more than 2 words from the passage for each answer. So, you have to write 2 words. More than that, sorry, okay, it's not acceptable. So please be careful, huh? Okay, and complete the questions. In my, you ask about the questions below.
All right, I think Cikgu Doria has an internet problem. So while waiting for her to come back, maybe we can have a question and answer session, Cikgu Salbi.
Okay, why not?
Okay, right. But this is for part 5.
All right.
Yeah, we have a question from Madam Carol Ho. Okay, so she's asking for part 5, if students write an answer with the wrong spelling, okay, do they get the mark?
Part 5, wrong spelling. Okay, that one will be under matching and information transfer. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well. Okay. So far, like if talk about if okay, take a look at the how all right, we need to take a look at the word. Okay, but by right, if the spelling how to say impede okay the meaning, am I right? Okay, so because we impede the meaning, so I so if it's not impede the meaning, but normally spelling will be okay, will be like they are very strict with spelling. But if the spelling is not impede the meaning of the structure, okay, so okay we can. But but I cannot okay because I cannot say whether is okay whether we can accept it or not because it depends on the panel. Okay, when the examiners okay they go for okay their training. So if I based on okay my that one previous training for PD3, right? If the how to say if the how to say the spelling okay is really impede the meaning, so we cannot okay we cannot accept okay the how to say the answer. So but then okay still we need to how to say we need to uh, check the letters how to say the letters all right instruction from the examination board. Okay, so I I cannot okay there's no black and white for me. It's not okay, I cannot say whatever that I say is correct. Okay, it depends on the panel of the examination board when they okay when the teachers okay will be how to say asked to go for a briefing. Okay,
Yeah, correct.
yeah, but because I don't dare to make any statement because there's
Correct,
no
yes.
black and white. Because what I can say, okay, based on my experience as pentaksi kawasan for PD3, okay, but we have to take a look at that particular spelling as well. All right, okay. And normally when okay, and normally when they okay when we talk about okay talk about spelling errors, all right. The panel need to how to say they need to have a discussion, am I right? Okay, and okay, but I can what I can say to the teachers, all right, try to inform your students okay to make sure to spell the words correctly. Okay, that will be the best way. That's it. All right.
Alright.
Okay, so whether we can accept it or not, okay, I don't have any rights to say okay in okay
Yeah.
for this okay
Okay.
for this kind of situation. I'm so sorry. Okay, so
Okay. Thank you,
just
Cikgu
inform the
Salbi.
student. Welcome.
Okay. Cikgu Doria is back. So I'll hand over to Cikgu Doria.
I think it's going to rain. Okay. All right. Sorry about that just now. Okay. It seems that my place here is going to rain heavily, so as usual, you know, the internet connection is not that good. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, so let's just continue just now. Okay, where we left, I was asking you to try and find the answers for which paragraph, okay, that making the statements. For example, number 1, I did not enjoy the work initially. Okay, so give you a little bit of time. You can type your answers in the chat box and let's see, okay, what it would be your answers. All right, so we have Shah, Julie, and Aida. So who do you think did not enjoy the work initially? Okay. Right? Okay. Is there any answers? All right. Okay, maybe all right. So maybe there's 2 or 3 of you. Maybe you want to write, just type your answers. Which paragraph you think is did not enjoy the work initially? Okay, some you said B. Okay, the answer is popping already. Okay, B, right? Okay, B. Okay, a lot of you said B, right? So B would be Julie. Okay, would be Julie. Is it? Okay, let's see. Okay. So your answer, you should be it's, I told you already, capitalization is important, so you have to write B in capital letters. Do not, because if you look in the paragraph itself, okay, it's in capitalizer, it's a capital letters B. So you need, so when you write down your answers, make sure it's B. Okay, well done. A lot of you said B. Okay, right. Where can you find? Okay, where can you find the answer? It should be here. What? Sorry, wasn't very enthusiastic. So that shows that she did not enjoy the work initially. Okay, well done. How about number 2? Okay, so we already number 2. I organized my work actually, sorry, by work by myself. Okay, how about number 2? What's your answer for number 2? Oh, someone will say F, A. Okay, let's see. B. Oh, okay, F. Okay, number 2 is F. All right. Oh, well done. Okay, good. Okay, the answer indeed is F. Very good. Okay, let's see, where can you find it? Okay, let's look at F. Right? I organize my work by myself. So she's working it by herself. Okay, so you can see the word set up. So I set up, okay, a story corner. Okay, well done, guys. And one day my classmate will join me, and she hoping that one day the classmate will join her. All right, so you can then you know, oh, she's working by herself. So she's setting up her own story corner. All right, well done. How about number 3? Come on. Number 3, I sympathize with the unfortunate in my area. Okay, unfortunate. So the keywords here is unfortunate. Yes, of course. Yeah. So number 3 is A. Oh, well done. Well done. Okay, a lot of you answers A. All right, well done. Okay, good. Where? How do you know it's A? So find the words unfortunate. Okay, unfortunate. You can see here from a few poor families. Here it. So the clue is unfortunate is the same meaning with few poor families. Okay, well done. Yes, poor. Poor is the same meaning with unfortunate. Okay, good. Very good. Okay, let's move to the next one. Well done. Good. Okay, now this one is the next part of part 5, right? Complete the notes below using information from the text. Choose no more than one word. One word, remember, one word from the passage. So we have to find the answers from the passage. There are 3 passages here, and find what should we write in the box. Okay, for example, okay, you can read first, right? For number 1, those who are interested in working with animals could help out at a where or zoo. So where can you find? Which paragraph tells you about this? Okay, which paragraph? Is it B, C, or E? Okay, right? Let's see. Okay, maybe you want to write, just type down there your answers for number 1. Okay. All right. Some of you already remember one word, okay, one word. So you cannot put 2 words. If you put 2 words, then it's not acceptable. Shelter. A lot of you said shelter. Well done. Okay, let's see. Oh, shelter. Should you write in capital letters? No. Remember, this is look, it's capital letters, so you don't have to write in capital letters. Remember, one word. Okay, I can see some of you are writing 2 words. That's wrong. Okay, one word. Yes, a lot of you answer shelter. Well done. Okay, yes. So where can you find those? Yeah, in paragraph B. So we are talking on Julie. Okay, you can see that Julie here said, when I was younger, I helped out at a nearby animal shelter. So here they said, okay, those who are interested in working animals could help out in a shelter or a zoo. So, of course, it's mentioned here, shelter. So now you know. Okay, well done. Now try number 2. Okay, for senior citizen, it is useful to think of ways to what? And depth. Okay, so you know that senior citizens. Where do they talk about senior citizens here? Okay, some of you have written, typed down the answers already. Well done. Good. Entertain. A lot of you say entertain. All right, so let's see. Yes, correct. Well done, guys. Okay. The word is indeed entertain. Well done, very good. Okay, so let's see. So you can find this in paragraph C. Okay, let's look at paragraph C over here. Let's see, paragraph C. Okay, all folks. So you know all we are talking about paragraph C because we can see it's all folks. The same thing with senior citizens. Okay, well done. Right. So it is useful to think ways of what? Can you find the word entertains? Entertain there. Okay. Yeah, see here? To entertain. Once in a while, we bring along a guitar to entertain them. So there is a part of useful to think ways. It's talking about ways. So one of the ways is to play guitar. Why? Because you want to entertain them. Oh, answers number 3 is coming already. Very good. Well done, guys. Okay, number 3, helping children is also about making them happy. Celebrating birthdays by having. Okay, good. A lot of you answers parties. Well done. Yes, correct. Well done. Right, parties. Where? So let's look at paragraph E. Okay. For as long as you remember, I can have been involved in community service, going to children's home. Right. So here I got children. Here you see the words children. So now you know it's children's home. With my parents to organize parties, especially on special occasions. So you can say that birthdays is also a special occasion. All right, you can see. So here you can say organize parties. So the answer should be parties. Okay, the joy on the children's faces never cease to warm our hearts, and that's what keeps us going back. Okay, right? Now you have to remember, okay, before that, thank you everyone. Well done, all of you have written or have typed the correct answers, which is very good. Okay, which means you do understand, huh? So which means once you read this, you should know. Fine, and then remember, okay, one word. Okay, some of you I've seen, some of you typing 2 words. No, that is wrong. Okay, right? All right. Both require the candidates or you, okay, to identify specific information. So you have to understand the sentences, you know, the items, okay, and relocate the phrases. Sometimes, especially on the clue, actually it's there. Okay, you just have to look carefully into this. Okay, it's kind of tricky, but actually it's quite easy. Okay, remember again, read carefully. One word. When it's one word, it's meant to be one word. Okay, right? Okay, so I hope you understand. All right, so you can refer to your buku format as well. So you can find the questions there. You can try, and then the most important part, that if you want to, you know, achieve good marks in this part 4 and 5, what you have to do is you have to understand the main points. Okay, there is a lot of things that you need. To understand. Okay, you look for the clues. The most important part when you do reading is always the clues. Okay, try to understand specific details and informations. Okay, and you can guess meaning from the context using clues. Okay, I always ask you to find the clue. Even in part 1, part 2, part 3, of course the same thing. Meaning and clues. Okay, specific details and the main point. So these are the things that you really need to master. Okay, so the most important part that when you do reading is that you read. Reading is thinking. Okay, because when you read, we think at the same time. Clues, try to understand what the text is all about. Okay, what is the topic that is trying, it's covering the text. Okay, and remember, the text, a variety of text. Okay, that can be asked. Right. So I guess that's it for my part 4 and 5. Okay. Thank you very much because a lot of you typing the correct answers, which means it shows that you do understand. If you have any questions, you may ask. Okay, or you may refer to your teacher, your English teachers. Okay, if there's no more question, is there any question, you may ask afterwards. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much from me, and hopefully that this year, I mean, in 2022, your SPM, you will be able to, you know, do your reading paper, all the 4 paper, you know, which means you are ready for it. Okay, thank you very much. Right? Okay.
Okay, Carol. Thank you, Cikgu Salbi and Cikgu Doria for the
Thank
excellent
you.
and
Welcome, guys.
informative presentations. Okay, so we have one question here for part 5, Cikgu Doria. Okay, if the answer is a singular noun, okay, but the students gave a plural answer or vice versa. If the answer is plural, but the students gave a singular answer, will that be accepted? Cikgu Doria? Oh, Cikgu Salbi?
Okay, so what's the question just now?
Okay, for part 5.
Part 5, huh? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, if the answer is a singular noun, right? But students wrote it as a plural answer or vice versa. If it's a plural answer, but the students answered in a singular noun, Will this be acceptable?
In that particular context, right? In
Yes.
that particular context, the student should write singular, but then the student write plural. Okay, all right. I think it's incorrect. Okay, it must be based on the context, right?
Okay.
Even though the student maybe they're in a rush, okay, but it's incorrect. So that's why students need to be careful. You need to be careful when you answer, right? When you write your answer, okay, please extra careful. Okay, that is my advice.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I hope that answers your question, Miss Anonymous.
Yeah, Miss Anonymous. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's why the student, they need to read the sentences because they have to fill in the blanks. Am I right? Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because that particular question is testing, okay, their understanding, right? Whether they have to use singular or plural.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So that concludes our question and answer session. Thank you again, Cikgu Salbi and Cikgu Doria. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you also to students for your active participation. Okay. We hope that you all have gained additional knowledge on how to tackle paper 1, Bahasa Inggris. Okay. So this concludes the webinar for paper 1. Stay safe and fly, kenyalang fly, fly high. So over to you, Cikgu Punitan, for paper 2. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Dayang, as the moderator for the reading team. What a fruitful session just now. A very wonderful afternoon to our respected Ms. Teresa Rose, the officer in charge of this program from Sarawak State Education Department, PPD officers, to all teachers and our beloved students. Welcome again to our next section of webinar Kecemerlangan SPM 2021, which is organized by the Learning Sector of Sarawak State Education Department. To all participants, teachers and students, and fellow audience, this next part is mainly focused on SPM English Paper 2 Writing. First and foremost, let me introduce our teammates in English SPM Writing team for today. First, me, myself, I am Mr. Espunitan Singgaru from SMK Beladin Betong, your moderator for this second session. Next, we have Miss Disma binti Hamdin from SMK Agama Matang number 2, Padawan. Ms. Disma has 28 years of teaching experience and have been involved in giving talks on English SPM as well as for the lower forms. Last but not least, our presenter, Ms. Nancy Nosiu from SMK Simangang Sri Aman. And she also has 28 years of teaching experience and actively involved in giving talks on English SPM for writing. She was also a national master trainer for CEFR familiarization in 2016 and national master trainer for learning materials adaptation and design CEFR aligned curriculum in 2017, which were organized by the Ministry of Education, joint program with Cambridge English. She was also a national master trainer for Form 4 curriculum induction CFR aligned curriculum in 2019 and many more professional contributions in this field. Teachers and students, just a friendly reminder, if you need any further clarification or questions, you may type your question in the chat box or you may wait until our Q&A session at the end of the presentation. From time to time, our teammates, Ms. Disma, will help and assist you in the chat box. All right, without further ado, we would very much delighted to welcome our beautiful Miss Nancy Nosiu to deliver her presentation on writing paper. Over to you, Miss Nancy.
Okay, thank you so very much. Okay, to our moderator, Cikgu Punitan. Thank you, a big thank you to JPN for giving us this chance and opportunity to share what we have on writing, which is earlier on reading, and now it's on writing. So hopefully at the end of this session, you will gain a lot. Is the impact on the student, especially who is going to be sitting for the SPM 2021 paper next year. Okay, so without further ado, let me show the slides. All right. Okay, hopefully you are able to see the slide. Cause so the first slide is, this is just the beginning of the session, all right? Score it right. CFR Align SPM 1119, paper 2 writing. So let us first look at CFR in Malaysia education. So at the end of secondary education, meaning to say at the end of Form 5, pupils are able to listen to and understand simple spoken English in order to function in common real world situations. And number 2, speak clearly using simple language. Communicate information, ideas, opinions, and feelings intelligibly on familiar topics. Read and understand stories and simple factual. Write using simple language. And then the last one is inculcate awareness and appreciation of moral values, unity, and love towards the nation. So this is CFR in Malaysia education. The reason why we are bringing it into our syllabus or curriculum. So let us look at the writing and the CFR, the relationship, or how are they being connected in the writing paper. So as you can see, it starts with level A2, which is basic user. So let us look at the descriptor. Can describe in simple terms. Remember, can describe in simple terms. Level A2 is actually a level in which the primary 6 students are expected to be at once they finish primary 6. So level B1, independent user, okay, or threshold or intermediate, able to produce simple connected text on topics that are familiar or of personal interest. Simple connected text, topics that are familiar and of personal interest. So do see the difference between A2 and B1. Now let us go to B2. As I've said earlier, expected at the end of Form 5, students of Form 5 should be at level 2. Level B2, independent user, vantage, upper intermediate, basic user, intermediate, upper intermediate. So what's the requirement? Can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects and explain a viewpoint. So you could actually see the progress from A2 to B1 to B2. So this is what you must or should be able to present or produce or create when you are sitting for the writing paper. Okay? And look at the issue, topical issue, personal interest, and areas of immediate need. So here we could actually see the progress from A2 to B1 and to B2. So let us look at the writing test overview. I guess teachers and students out there, you are very familiar with the format, okay, by now. So let us look at the overall grade, 60 marks. But of course, at the end of the exam, it will be converted to 25. Because each paper, 25 marks, okay? So duration, 1 hour, 30 minutes. 1 hour, 30 minutes with 3 sections to cover. Part 1, email. Part 2, essay. appropriate format relevant to the task, equal to level B1. Part 3, review, report, article, story.
Hello. Sorry to
Yes.
bother you, Miss Nancy. The slide
Yeah.
is not moving.
Oh, it's not moving. All right. Wait.
Yes.
Thank you. So
You're
which
still
slide
in
am
the
I
first
now?
slide. All right.
Oh,
It's
okay. So yes. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So let me share again. Or if I use this one, would that be fine? Is this moving? Cikgu Punitan?
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. So let me stop sharing first. Okay.
And the slide was not in the slideshow view.
Oh, okay. All right. So if it doesn't work later, then I just have to like use the data. All right. So it was not moving just now, is it?
Yes, still was in the first slide.
Okay. Share screen. Okay, is this? So I guess I have to use this screen then. Is it shown?
Can you make
No,
a
this
reading
one.
view? You go to reading view. It's on
Okay.
the top
Here.
of the bar there. Actually, you can choose reading view.
This one.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Okay.
Yes.
Is it moving now?
Yes.
Yes,
It is
Thank you
moving.
so
Miss
much.
Nancy.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. So I guess I'll just continue. Okay. So yeah. Oh, wait. All right. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay. Wow. All right. It's already wait. Okay. So where did I start? Here. Okay. Okay, so let's start again. Okay, so writing test overview. Okay, so let us look at the sections. Part 1, A2, part 2, B1, and part 3, B2. So we have review, report, article, and story. So these are the formats that you have to, or at least you must try to remember or memorize. Okay, I'm talking about the format. So number of words for part 1 is 80 words. For part 2, 125 to 150 words. Part 3, 220 to 250 words. Marks are the same. Okay, marks are the same. The number of words are not. Okay. So let us look at the types of item: limited response and open response, and the construct, apply, analyze, assess, and create. Okay, so let us look at the assessment criteria. Now, when you are writing your essay and then the marking starts, these are actually the criteria that your teachers will be marking your essay based on these criteria. All right. So the content, ability to fulfill the requirements of tasks, the communicative achievement, ability to use appropriate tone, register conventions of the specific task, and clear ideas. And organization, ability to link ideas coherently, structure, meaning to say here, structure your text in a logical order and your ideas are connected. So language, your ability to use relevant vocabulary and grammar. Okay, so there are 4 assessment criteria. So process of writing. Well, I see it in 3 stages. We have 3 steps. Step 1, analyze the task. So students and or teachers and students, all right. Try to tell your students that they need to analyze the task. When you say analyze the task, meaning to say you need to understand the task. How do you understand the task? By identifying the format to be used, or another way of saying it, generic structure, and identify the keywords. How? Underline, or you just highlight. Why? Because these are the words that you are going to use in your essay. Okay, step 2, plan your response. Here I would say drafting. You have to think of how many paragraphs that you want to create. So remember, part 1, part 2, part 3, email, essay, and of course the other 4 types of essay. Paragraphing, think how many paragraphs do you think that essay may need. And then the content. Talking about the content, go back to the part or to the step 1 where you analyze the task. Okay, and then the use of language. Now let us look at use of language. First, you determine the register, the tone and the style of writing. Formal, informal. Who are your audience? Marker, students. Then think of all the linking words, or think of the linking words and the cohesive devices, the relevant, the suitable linking words and cohesive devices to connect your ideas. Then of course comes the relevant vocabulary or diction, your choice of words to be used in your essay. Then your language style, okay? And the grammar and the tenses that you should apply or need to apply in producing the essay. Then step 3, present your response. It should be linear form, not non-linear, in point form, for example. Definitely not in linear form. It should be clear, it should be neat, it should be tidy. Why? So that it is comprehensible, so that the marker is able to read whatever you are writing. Okay? Okay, can you score 20 marks for each part? Why not? Yes. How? RUDW. Read the question 2 times, 3 times. Nobody is going to say, no, you are not allowed to read more than 2 times. Nothing, no such instruction in the question paper. So just read 2 times, 3 times. Why? Because you need to understand. What is it that you need to understand? You need to understand the task. So how do you understand the task? You identify the keywords. Then comes the drafting. Draft your answer. Now, this is not a habit among students, I know. But I think it's about time that you may want to put this into your way of writing. Draft. Draft doesn't mean come up with this an essay. Draft is in a mind map form. It can be in a mind map form, where you put in the vocabulary that you want to use, the connectors that you want to apply, the tenses that you are going to use, and the sentence structure that you are going to construct. Then you write your answer. Look back at the question to check again if you have understand the task and if you have fulfilled the requirement of the task. So let us dissect part 1. 20 marks, task type, short, communicative message. Focus on the word short. Short means short, it cannot be long. Okay? So task format, a short response. Once again, short response, about 80 words, where roughly 80 words would be like 8 lines, 7, 8 lines of your examination or notepad. It cannot be more than that. It's 80 words, okay? It all depends on the number of words in that line. If you are used to writing 10 words in a line, 8 lines will be 80 words, all right? Okay, and it is an informal message. informal message. So the register, your tone is informal. So the intended CEFR level is A2. So let us go back to what I've already shared earlier. Can describe in simple terms matters in areas of immediate need. That is why it's called short communicative message. Send a message to your mother saying that you will be late. Mom, I'm going to be late. That's short. Areas of immediate need? Yes. Okay. Suggested time, 15 minutes. Train yourself to try to answer this part in 15 minutes. Remember, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 3 parts. So 80 words. You wouldn't want to spend 30 minutes on an 80 words essay. So train yourself from today onwards. I must try to finish this 15 minutes so that I have enough time for part 2 and part 3, which requires me to write something which is more, I would say, difficult or more complex or more complicated. Okay? So let us analyze the task. So this is how you analyze the task. You read the question. The first part will give you an information of a situation. You receive an email, received. New friend, so you know automatically it's informal. Amy, the person who is supposed to receive your message. Who has just moved to your hometown? Well, that is a situation given to you. So look at the content of the email. Hi, and then suddenly there are 3 questions. You need to know that these are the questions that you need to answer and to be included in your email. So instruction, look at the instruction. Now write an email, the format, in about 80 words. That's your task. Write an email to your friend Amy in about 80 words. So what's next? After you analyze the task, helping your students how to analyze the task, students know how to analyze the task. Get them familiar with the format. Students, be familiar with the format or the structure of an email. Learn how to write an email address. Then subject, how do you construct or create your subject? Refer to the question, but please make sure keep it short. So this is the suggested answer. I have the email address, the subject or the title, answering the 3 questions. Where shall we go? Let us go to Pandan Beach. What should we bring? Sandwiches, fried chicken wings, sausages. What can we do there? Swimming, of course. So look at the sentences and look back at the level for this part. It's A2. Simple language. Simple language to convey message for immediate needs and in 80 words. So in order to mark this, teachers, you will have to refer to, or you must refer to, that's the word, okay? You must refer to the assessment scale for part 1, which is A2 CEFR level. Basic vocabulary, minor irrelevances. So the ones in the red that I highlighted are guide for you to mark assessment scale, mark part 1, which should be at A2 CEFR level. So this is your ultimate guide in marking part 1. So tips for writing email, KISS, KISSS. Keep it short, keep it simple, keep it straightforward. What is email? Short, communicative message. Informal exchange between friends, family members, relatives. Use simple, familiar vocabulary, but must be relevant. Use simple connectors, fanboys, for, and, no, but, because, or, yet, and so. Use abbreviation. You are allowed to use short form, abbreviation, contractions. Why? Informal style. Keep it straightforward. Write straight to the point. Don't beat around the bush. You have no time to beat around the bush because you have 2 more parts to answer. Provide direct answers. Where do you want to go? Town. What should you bring? Money. What will you do there? Eat. Direct answers. Don't provide too much detail. When someone asks you, where do you want to go? At first, where? What was it just now? It's not like that. It's answering the question as it is required. Okay, part 2. 20 marks. 20 marks. Task type, guided writing. What does it mean by guided writing? Because it's based on text stimulus. Along the text of 125 to 150 words, that will be roughly around 15 lines. 15 lines, quarter of your notepad. Okay? Intended CFR level, B1. Can produce simple, connected text. Suggested time, 20 minutes top. Why? Please remember part 3. Okay, part 3 requires you most of the 1.5 hour time given to you. All right. Okay. Sample question. Let us look at the sample question. Now, once again, analyze what you need to do. You must answer this question. Yeah, of course, you have to answer this question, right? Okay, write your answer in 125 to 150 words in an appropriate style. So you have to think of the appropriate format because it's not stated, not like, unlike part 1, whereby it's an email, so you have to write an email. So this one is appropriate style. So how do you know what style, what genre, what types of essay do you have, what format to be used? You have to read the question. Is it factual? Is it story? Is it narrative? Or is it narrative? Is it factual? Is it descriptive? Or is it argumentative? Okay? Or discussion? So let us look at the question. Your class has been discussing how to deal with mental health issues during the coronavirus outbreak. And your teacher has asked you to write an essay about the ways to deal with mental health issues during the pandemic. Wow, this is a very, a very strong message here, need to be delivered. So definitely this is a factual essay, informative. So in your essay, you should write about, so I need to answer all these 3 questions. What is one way? Remember, one way, not more, one way, not more. Reasons, there's an S there, so I have to give more than 1. Okay, 2 will be good because it's only 125 to 150 words. And then suggest one other way. So one way, give the reasons, and 1 more way. So bear that in mind. These are the content of your essay. So write your essay using all the notes. Make sure you use all the notes given. Giving reasons for your point of view. You see, the trick is there, not putting it together with the 3 points, but putting it right down there just to make sure, just to see if you are alert of another point. So that's the reason why you really need to analyze the task so that you don't miss anything. All right? Given 3, but there's another one down there, giving reasons for your point of view. So you have 4 things to cover in your essay. So this is the sample essay. The coronavirus outbreak has become a global issue which affects people's lives tremendously, particularly on the mental health. The word which is a cohesive device, which is a low frequency cohesive device. Okay? So introduction, we introduce our essay with a topic sentence. A topic sentence is a sentence which helps readers to understand the whole essay without reading it yet. But just based on the first paragraph itself, based on the topic sentence itself, everyone or any reader will have a rough idea, will know what the essay is all about. The word mental health, so must have something to do with mental health, even before they continue reading. All right, so content answering the 3 questions. Look at the ones in red. There are many ways to deal with mental health issues. Yes, there are many ways, but I'm only talking about one because I'm answering the question. One of the effective ways is to listen to music. Then I start to give my elaboration on why do I choose listen to music. And then after that, I provide an explanation. Then I end it with my personal opinion to forget the chaos and the frenzy of the pandemic. Now, answering the second question, another way, giving another way, keep our brain busy and giving reason. Then, to sum up, closure, giving your opinion or your advice regarding how the effective way to deal with mental health issues. To sum up, prevention is better than cure. Get yourself busy and focus more on your well-being. Giving opinion, giving advice. All right? So compare this with the email. You can see how the email of an A2 level, and then you progress to an essay of a B1 level. All right? Okay. So that's the comparison. So teachers, the assessment scale for part 2 of B1 CFI level, I don't have to go through this because we have gone through this week, last week, okay, 2 days, okay, focusing on how to mark. I guess everyone is very much familiar with this. Okay, part 3. Let's move to part 3, 20 marks. The task type, extended writing task. You extend from what is just given, perhaps just a topic, just a title. Okay? Task format, a choice of 3 questions. Choose one from 3 options. It could be an article, it could be a review, a report or a story. And write 200 to 250 words. 200 to 250 words. That will be around 25 lines or 24 to 25, half a page. Intended CFR level, B2. Now, look at the descriptor. Can produce clear, detailed text on a wide range of subjects and explain a viewpoint. Getting tougher? Okay. Suggested time, 55 minutes. So you have 15, you have 20, and you have 55 minutes. And if you can follow the required, the suggested duration, you will be able to finish that paper on time. 1 hour, 30 minutes. So let us look at the sample question for article. Once again, analyze, okay? Slice the question, look inside, see what's the insights of the question. All right? Articles wanted. Spot is for everyone. Now the title is given. Now should you create your own title? No. Because the title is given to you. So why do you bother yourself thinking of, let me think of another title, let me think of another title? No. Just use the title given to you. All right? So the content, what are the importance of spots? Now, how do sports benefit students? 2. All right. So write an article answering the above questions. Task. So you have your situation given, you have a title, you have the content, and you have the task. Now, next, what should you do? Come up with the article. So you see, it's getting longer. From 80 words to 150 words, now moving to 250 words. Now look at the sentence types. Look at the vocabulary used, applied. Look at the paragraphing. So you have to think of all this as you start drafting your question as you answer it. All right? So you have to have your introduction. So when it is an article, you need to have the title, then you need to have the author. Written by, okay, the name of person. Then you have the introduction, the topic sentence. Something to do with sport. It has to, it must be related to sport. Your topic sentence should be something which is general, but about sport. Okay? Look at the words, integral part, massive positive effect. More importantly, look at the cohesive devices. No longer using fanboys for and nor but. No. More complicated cohesive devices as well as linking words to show the maturity of your writing. Okay? First of all, so you have your point 1, 2, 3, and 4. Providing four points for the first question, the importance, and question 2, the benefits. 3 benefits. Cram in 250 words. All ideas connected nicely using cohesive devices. So you don't see much simple sentence here. You see complex sentence, compound complex sentence, and compound sentence. But most of it are complex sentence. Then you finish it off with a conclusion by giving your opinion. So let us look at part 3. Part 3, a review. Now, what's a review? A review is a way for you to inform your ideas your opinion regarding something. Be it a movie, be it a book, or product and service. Giving your opinion on what you think of the things that you bought as a customer. And to share it with others. And at the end, would you recommend it to others? All right? To watch, to read, to use. Okay? So let us see what to write. So you describe the movie, the book, the product, or the service. So what can you describe? The physical features as well as the content. For example, the packaging. Is it attractive enough? Is it too colorful? Too many things on it? Okay, I couldn't focus on what is it that they are selling or what is it that I'm buying, all right? So the origin as well as the ingredients. It could be the physical features or it could also be the content. Next, explain on what interests or attracts you. Is it the size, the price, the durability, the lifespan, the flexibility, okay? Or is easy for you to buy or to get, all right? Next, the last one, state if you recommend it. But of course, definitely with reasons. You can't just recommend and then not saying, oh, you know what? I recommend this to you. Why? Well, I just feel like recommending it to you. So do you think anyone would want to buy it? I don't think so, all right? Okay. So, sample question for book review, all right? Let us once again tear the question apart see what is it that we want to search for. Okay, share your reviews. Have you read an interesting book lately? Why not share a review of the book? Okay, what makes you enjoy the book? That's the question that I have to ask. I have to answer. Would you suggest the book to your friends? We'll see. Why do you think your friends will enjoy it too? So, content requires you to answer the 3 questions. And the task, write your review. So, let us look at the answer. That's it. Now look at the words being used. For a part 3, B2 level essay. Okay, you have the title, a book review on a brief guide to the supernatural, providing synopsis of the book. Why? So whoever reads this review will be able to know what the book is all about. That's the purpose of the synopsis. Next, your personal opinion on the book. The reason why you want to review the book is it's not like taking it off the shelf and, okay, I want to review this book. Okay? So your personal opinion on the book. Thought-provoking, interesting and intriguing ideas, girlish glossary, entertaining and informative overview, experienced or amateur spook spotter. So that's my opinion on this book because it's my book. Okay? So why do I recommend it? Now, look closely. What makes this book so much interesting is that it includes a caution to the reader due to its content. So you see, I am saying this book is good, but it's not good for everyone. Okay, a book not suitable for all ages, but definitely for those who are curious about the unknown and the unexplained. So a book that should not be taken too seriously, but more for pleasure reading and extra knowledge. You see how I recommend it? Okay, so this is how you write a book review. Okay, so focus on the language, focus on the organization, focus on the sentences, okay, and of course the words that are being applied. So next come the sample question for a report. Question 3. You've conducted a survey on the reasons for students' lack of interest in sports. So it's a report. So now I have to remember the format of a report. What's a report? To inform someone about something, an incident or an event. Giving details, giving information about the incident or the event. So write your report answering the questions below. So there are 2 things that should be included in the content of your report. Why are they not interested in sports? Now, how can this problem be solved? Thus, write your report. Let us look at the sample answer. Okay? First, you have the title of your report. Then, you have the who, the when, the what, and the where in only 1 sentence. You can actually answer 4 questions in 1 sentence. On the 10th of September 2021, I've conducted a survey on 980 students of SMK Patikalana involving students from Form 1 to Form 5, and the results showed that only 220 students are interested in sports. Who? From 1 to Form 5. When? 10th of September 2021, with a survey where SMK Patikalana. Okay? Now, why? Now, answering the question why they are not interested. So here it says, tend to feel uncomfortable, sweaty, hot, dirty, and sunburned after playing sports. Furthermore, an indication that I'm giving you the second point. I'm giving you the second point. So they do not have much time to spend on sports due to their tight schedule. Most of them have to attend tuition classes. Uncomfortable, have to attend tuition classes. 2. Just care less. 3. 3 main reasons. Uncomfortable, have to attend tuition classes, and just care less. All right? Okay. And then 420 students stated that the main problem is their parents. Parents put excessive amount of attention on academic that it has become difficult for them to make time for leisure. Okay. So answering question 1 in one paragraph. So how? Answering the question how? So in order to get students to have interest in sports, school and parents must cooperate. That's my opinion. School, parents, cooperate. So I'm giving you the answer now. How? Cooperation from school and parents. What should the school do? Provide enough equipment and facilities for students to enjoy the different types of sports. Then parents should encourage the children. Now, if you think that this paragraph is too long, then you can actually separate them, making them into 2 separate paragraphs. Okay? Just to show that, yeah, I have 2 paragraphs, but my paragraphing actually shows that there are 3 points for question number 1. So how do you do that? You connect your ideas using linking words and the connectors and the cohesive devices or connectors. Okay? Cohesive devices sounds too academic. So I'll just say linking words, connectors, logical connectors, sequence connectors. Okay, they are connectors. All right? Okay. Then end it with the ending. Reported by, signature, the name, and of course, the post. All right? President of the sports club. Okay. So this is sample answer for part 3 on report. So part 3, story. Oh, love story. Okay. You must have the title of the story first. Introduction. What do we mean by introduction? When it comes to a story, why is there an introduction in a story when there is supposed to be a plot? Yep, you are right. There must be a plot. Okay. So body paragraphs, we must have rising action, where you develop the plot. Conflict and climax, the problem. Then the resolution, solution to the problem. Then conclusion. Okay, finish up your story. It can be, let us see how. Okay, let's look at the question first. So this story is based on moral value. And the moral value and the title given is be responsible. So your teacher asked the class to write a story based on a moral value. So your story should include the description of an event or incident where you have shown the value as a student. Next, the lesson learned from this event or incident. So as you have to quickly think of what has happened or what had happened or ever happened in your life or someone you know. Why? Because you need all this information very fast for you to come up with your story. Otherwise, you will have no story at all. Okay? So very fast think using your previous knowledge or your prior knowledge or your experience, okay? And think of an event or an incident where you have shown or failed to show this value and what have you learned from it. Okay? So look at the sample answer. Be responsible. That's the title of the story. So let us look at the introduction, the take-off, okay, of your story. Telling the audience something about being responsible. Who is the character? Oh, so you want to put yourself as the main character? Yeah, why not? You know why? Look at the question. Something that happened to you. All right? Okay. Look at the second paragraph, description of incident, how it happened, how it started. Well, I guess this surely happened in real world, real situation, everyday life. All right. Okay. Climax of the story. What's the climax of the story? The presentation day. Just like today, lah. Okay, like me giving my presentation. So the presentation day then finally came, and I was a nervous wreck, butterflies in my tummy. My presentation went so badly, and even my computer was not being good to me that day. Oh gosh, this is something that I can relate to myself today. So I felt so guilty and ashamed of myself. Not quite. And I cried till my eyes were swollen. Oh, definitely not. So this incident really taught me a lesson on the importance of being responsible. Since that day, I made a promise to myself that I would change and be more responsible. Following action. Which leads to how the lesson is learned. Being responsible should always be a part of one's personality. Lack of such a trait of character, or even its absolute absence, was never considered to be a positive feature. So, story must have a plot. Follow or use the plot graph. Remember when you learn literature, you have the plot graph, you have the introduction, then you have the rising action, then you have the climax, then you have the falling action, then you have the resolution. It can end good or bad, but that's your story. Okay? All right. So when marking, these are for teachers, when marking, do please refer to the assessment scale for part 3 as why? Because the essays that are expected of your students supposedly or should be at B2 CEFR level. And you could actually see the differences in the descriptor. Okay? You can actually make comparison looking at assessment scale for part 1, part 2, and part 3. You could actually see and identify the difference in terms of the 4 criteria. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that. We have gone through it. Okay, now next, what should you do to prepare? Both me as a teacher, both you out there as a students, as teachers, okay? Expose, drill, practice, evaluate, feedback. So preparation starts with expose, then drill, then practice, then feedback, evaluate, and then feedback. So let us look at expose. What do you expose? Yeah. Expose the students, their teachers. Expose yourself, their students, to parts of speech. Parts of speech, just remember, they are nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, preposition, conjunctions. Do I miss anything? And exclamation. Okay, hopefully I've not missed anything. All right, grammar rules. Why grammar rules are important? Because you need to know the grammar rules to structure and construct your sentence. Without knowing the grammar rules, your sentence will be like incomprehensible. That's all. Difficult for anyone to understand. Okay, all right. For example, like this. I go one library. So there must be a grammar rule, so that the sentence sounds right, grammatically correct. Next, exposed to vocabulary. What kind of vocabulary would that be? Well, it can be terminology, okay? It can be lingo. It can be slang, though not advisable slang. Jargon, terminology, jargon, or lingo. Okay? Why? Because you look at the questions, it requires you to have different types of vocabulary. For example, like sports, you really need to know something about sports, words that are related to sport. Health, mental health issues, you need to know terms, health term, medicinal term. Okay, so that's the reason why you need to build up your vocabulary. How? Reading. Nothing more, nothing less. Reading. You need to read at least 2,000 words a day. All right. Okay, there will be around 3 pages, 4 pages. Okay, tenses. Expose students expose yourself to tenses: present, past, future, continuous, perfect. 16 types of tenses. And linking words, cohesive devices, connectors, the different types of connectors in conjunction, and expose them to sentence types: simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. Why? Because they need that mark. Okay, they need that mark under language. All right. Okay. So, drill. What will we teachers drill them on? And students, what should you focus on when the teacher starts to drill you? Okay, you need to know the format. Drill on the format. The 5 different types of format required for you to get yourself ready for the upcoming SPM. Okay, language styles. You need to know email, informal; article, formal; report, formal; review, formal; story, informal. Okay, right. Sentence types or sentence structure: simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. Phrasal verbs. You need to learn phrasal verbs. You need to build up your phrasal verbs. Okay, because phrasal verbs really strengthening your AC. All right. Parts of speech. So I've mentioned earlier. Linking words, linkers, cohesive devices. Now, students, please initiate your own learning. Okay. Help your teachers to help you. Okay. Help your teachers to help you. Okay. This is my advice. All right. You can always search for all this in the internet. What your teacher teaches you in school or in class, you enhance and enrich it on your own. Initiate the learning on your own. Okay, practice independent learning. Okay, so that's my advice. Okay, direct speech, indirect speech, reported speech, tenses: present, past, future, perfect, continuous. So first expose. Once they are exposed, now drill. Okay, drill. Use them. Okay, all the time when you are doing writing. When you read, when you do your reading, look at how the sentences are constructed. That's how you connect all your lesson, from reading to writing to listening to speaking. They are all connected once you know all this. Okay, all right. So practice. I use my Bruce Lee here. Why? Because he came up with this quote: practice makes perfect. After a long time of practicing, our work will become natural, skillful, swift, and steady. Okay, and the formula for success is very simple: practice and concentration, then more practice and more concentration. So how does this practice work? Teacher provides you samples of question and answers, examples of question and answers, and provide you with exercises. If the teacher says copy the sample of essay, don't think it as a way of bullying you. No. Do you know that when you copy, you are actually putting in many skills at one time? You read, then you write, then you read it out. That's speaking. And if the audio is given to you, you listen to it. and at the same time, you read it out. Okay, so practice does make perfect. Okay. Now comes the evaluation. Okay, comes the evaluation. Formative assessment or PBD, pentaksiran bilik darjah. Then we have the summative assessment. When we talk about formative assessment, it is actually an assessment that help we teachers to determine or to help you to know, I wouldn't say weaknesses, but what is it that you are still lack of, or still not sure of, or still do not fully understand. So students should be telling the teachers what they want to learn, rather than we teachers telling you, this is what you need to learn, this is what you need to master, this is what you need to acquire. Because who knows what we require you to do, to acquire and to master, you have already mastered them. So students, it is your I would say responsibility to tell us, the teachers, what is it that you need us to do to help you. Okay, so the goal of formative assessment is to help teachers determine any gaps in student knowledge and areas where they can improve, and allowing teachers to alter their lesson planning accordingly. So that's the reason why when teaching two different levels of students, or students of different ability in a class, our lesson, though we are teaching the same topic, the same theme, or let's say the same learning standard, the same main standard, but the delivery totally different. Why? To cater the needs of the different level of students in the class. So we have to alter our lesson based on that gap that we know and we discovered from our students, by our students. Okay, teachers? All right. So students, please tell us what you need, what you want to help you out to have a full preparation for your exam. Okay. More specifically, formative assessment helps students identify, help students identify their strengths and weaknesses and target areas that need work. Let's say a boy approached you, or a girl, okay, one of your students approached. Teacher, I am very weak in using adjective in my sentence. So you have the detail from your students. You have the information from the students. Now, work it out with your students on how to help them to use adjective in their essay. Perhaps first, get them to list down how many adjectives they know. Then you help to add on to that list of adjectives. Start small, then big. Okay? Now, summative assessment. Yeah, we are waiting for this. It should be in November. Okay? So the goal of summative assessment is to evaluate student learning, knowledge, proficiency, or success at the end of an instructional period. And this we are talking about at the end of the year. Okay? Example, midterm and final year. Okay? First semester, final year exam, summative assessment, focusing on what the student have learned throughout the year, the knowledge that they have, the content knowledge that they have, all right, and their level of proficiency, and even their success, to know where they are at the end of that particular period. Okay. So feedback. Now, great job. Well done. Yes, you did it. Wow. So these are the kinds of feedback that we normally give our students. Great job! And then the emoji. Well done! And then the emoji. Okay. So just isn't enough, you know? It's just even enough. Okay? It's just isn't enough feedback for student success. What do they need? What kind of feedback do they need? They need oral and also in written form. Why? Because they want to be feel appreciated. You ask them to write a 300 words or to copy a 300 words, okay, essay, and then you say, great job, well done. I think they need more than that. For example, wow, you finally did it. What nice handwriting. I could actually read every letter clearly. You really put such effort into writing and copying this essay. Make it positive. How if it is negative? I really appreciate your effort of copying this essay. However, it would be nice if you would at least write it neatly. See? All right? Make sure your feedback is effective, constructive. Why constructive? Because they need it. Okay? Because they need it. Because the feedback will guide them to avoid making the same mistake. That's the reason why it has to be constructive. It must be purposeful. There is a reason why we are giving feedback. Okay, because we want them to change. We want them to make changes. Okay, it has to be meaningful and impact on what they're going to write next. And it has to be appreciative. All right. So effective feedback is constructive feedback plus appreciative feedback. And that's a feedback. Okay. All right. It seems that, oh, I thought that I was going very fast, but it seems that we are almost towards the end of our slide of my sharing for today. Okay, I leave you with these two quotes. Okay, one is, well, it's for the teachers and the students. Okay, sharing knowledge is the most fundamental act of friendship because it is a way you can give something without losing something. When someone asks why anyone will ever become a teacher, teachers out there, remind them why it's worth it. Every job has its ups and downs, but not every job can change a life. And that's it from me. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, thanks for listening and for your valuable time.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Nancy, for the very informative and useful tips that could help our teachers and students in their SPM English Paper 2 writing. And now I will hand over to Miss Disma for the Q&A session. Miss Disma, you may continue. Let's see if we have any question from the floor.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, we have one question here from
Hello, Miss Disma, are you there? Or maybe there is a interruption. Okay, there is one question here, Miss Nancy. Would the use of contraction be penalized? Can you answer that question from bits of everything?
Bits of
Bits of everything.
bits of everything. Okay, bits of everything. Yeah, it would not be penalized. Why? Because we have informal and we have formal style of writing, and it all depends on the question. They would not be penalized. It would not, as long as because the focus is more on fulfilling the what do you call it, the requirement of the task. Okay, maybe a lower mark on perhaps on the not organization but on the language. Okay, on the language or the communicative achievement. Okay, but would not be penalized. Okay, all right.
Okay,
Okay,
then
yes.
another question.
Oh, okay.
If students from Mr. Dixon Chalais, if
All
students
right.
write less than the words requirement, would they be penalized?
Pardon? Could you come again?
If students write less than the words required, would they
Oh,
be penalized?
oh, okay. All right. So if students write less than the words requirement, would they be penalized? No, they would not be penalized because long or short, it is not a matter here. It will be marked as it is. All right. It will be marked as it is. Okay. It's just that when they write too short, then they might miss a lot of ideas or points that they would like to include. But it will not be penalized to a good extent. All right. I hope I'm answering your question. Okay.
Okay, there's one more. Where was it just now? About
Okay.
Okay.
Can I answer one question here? I have one question here. It's
Okay.
from Sophia Sijili. Hello, Sophia. Okay. So your question is: are contractions allowed in part 2 and part 3? Review an article. Well, when you look at the format of a review and article, it's a formal style of essay. Okay, a formal style of essay. So it is advisable. Not advisable, but do tell our students that when it's review or article, it's best if you don't use contractions. Okay, that's my personal advice. All right, but if it is an email or a story, there will not be a problem. Okay, I hope I'm answering your question.
Okay. There's okay. Let's get another question. Okay. May I know how many paragraphs should the email have? 2 or 3 from Ting Siu Ping.
All right. So Ting Siu Ping. Okay, hi Ting Siu Ping. May I know how many paragraphs should the email have? Now you see it's only 80 words. Like what I've said, I think in part 2, if not mistaken. I think so in part 2. Well, it all depends on what is it that you want to, what is it that students want to show to the marker. If the students feel that they want to show that, okay, I'm answering part 1. Okay, I'm answering question 1. I'm answering question 2. I'm answering question 3. So if they feel that they want to put it into three paragraphs, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, because here it's about fulfilling the task. Do they fulfill the task? Having 4 or 5 paragraphs but not fulfilling the task, it doesn't make sense, right? Because it has to fulfill the task. So if they have 2-3 paragraphs, well, it doesn't sound relevant as well because only 80 words. 2 paragraphs would be just sweet and nice for only 10 lines. 8 lines, sorry, 8 lines. All right, Ting. I hope I'm answering you, Ting. Okay, all right. Ruth Hashley. Okay.
Yes,
Ruth
from
Hashley.
Ruth Hashley.
Yes. I saw the question. Thank you. If I write more than 250 words in part 3, is it acceptable? Yes, my dear. But do you have the time? And my question to you. All right. So it all depends on your time management. Would you be able to manage your time well? If you have already spent so much time on part 2, for example, part 1 maybe not so much, but part 2 you have spent so much time on part 2, and then you feel like answering, like writing more than 250 words for part 3. Well, you might be writing only halfway, and then you miss all the good ones, the good points that you want to share. Okay, so that's my advice. All right. Okay. Okay. I received a lot of questions here. Okay, from Vera Philip. Hi, Vera. If the student did not write in the required format, will the students be penalized? There's no such thing as penalized, Lahore, please. It's not like penalized, but somehow you would not get the band that you want. Okay, there's been 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So you might not get the band that you wish that you would be able to be or at. Okay, so there's no such thing as penalized. Okay, it's just that you would not, that, as I've said, you might, instead of getting 5, you might get 4, 3. All right, so it will like somehow affect your overall marks. Okay, Vera. Okay, so try to memorize all the formats. Not so much, it's only email, report, article, review, story. Only 5. Okay, all right. Susanna Bujang will definitely share the writing parts with the lower form. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, Boniface, my friend. Hi. Okay. Will the candidate be penalized if they're wrong? If they write wrong facts in a factual essay? Well, what do you think? Will the marker know all the facts? Do you think that the marker will know all the facts? Remember, when you are a marker, you are not supposed to be influenced by your own personal judgment. Okay, so if they write it, if the facts are wrong, and you know that it is wrong, then just don't focus too much on looking at the facts, but please do look at the overall of the essay. How good is the essay in terms of the fulfillment of the task, in terms of the communicative achievement, the language, as well as the organization. So don't take that particular part saying that it's not good. All right. Okay. And I hope I'm answering your question. All right. Okay. I noticed that the format for report in English download is totally different from the format that we teach the students. Subheadings are used to separate the paragraphs. Well, I'm so sorry, dear Caroline Felix. I'm so sorry that I'm unable to respond to this, because this has something to do with the, what do you call it? Did this really have to ask the textbook department? I hope I'm answering it correctly, okay? Because when it comes to report, that's how we have taught it since ages hence, okay? So this, Caroline, I'm so sorry. I would not want to talk about the content of the textbook, but as I've said, what I suggest, it's good if you're able to answer, teach them, or introduce, expose. Yeah, that's the word. Expose to them to the format that we are used to. Okay, all right. Teacher, how much time to write draft? Okay, how much? Okay, Dayang Nurhayati, how much time to write draft? Remember, draft is just in point form. You just need around 3 to 5 minutes, not more, not less, because you just have to write words, only words, phrases, not a complete sentence. All right, Dayang? So 3 to 5 minutes, that would be okay. 3 is just nice, because you'll just scribble. Okay, let's say picnic. Okay, the thing you need, beach, play. So you have words, words here and there, words that you think that you will be using. So that is actually a draft. Okay, and how many paragraphs you want? Okay, all right. So is story writing open or closed response? It is closed. It is closed response. Okay. Yeah, close. Okay. Audrina. Audrina. All right. Wait. Abstracting here. Okay. For part 3, yes, Audrina. Which one would you recommend for students who are not that good in writing? Part 3. Oh, part 3. Okay. Review, definitely not. Okay, because they really have to understand what they need to review, words that they have to use. Okay, my advice would be on part 3, article. My advice would be article. Okay, why? It's because at least they have prior knowledge. Okay. Oh gosh, so sorry. Okay, thunderstorm and okay, next. Okay, what's advice would you suggest to help very weak students in writing? Use word grid. Use word grid to help them out. it is something that I have shared with PPD Surian, with PPD Bau, and with JPN Labuan. So I've used word grid with my students. It helps them, okay? It helps them to, especially the weak ones, okay? And I'll, if I have the chance, given the chance, I might share that with you. All right? Oh gosh, so sorry. Okay. Okay. Any more question? It seems that I have a lot of questions here. It's only 4:33.
Okay, Miss Disma, can you get a few more questions from the floor?
Wow. A lot of questions here.
Okay, there is one question here.
Okay,
Sorry,
Miss Disma, can you get a
suddenly
few more
thunderstorm.
questions from the
Okay,
floor?
there is
Yeah,
one
yeah.
question here from Rovendi Bedali.
Okay.
Can you share the slide? All right. Was it will the essay acceptable if it is not related to the question, Miss Nancy?
Oh, okay. Now, see, when you look at the what do you call it, the first column of the assessment scale, it is a compulsory that the task is fulfilled. Okay, the task is fulfilled. So if they don't fulfill the task, then considered unable to understand and unable to fulfill or to answer the question. So it's not acceptable. So if this is the thing that we teachers, we should always like remind our students that whatever they write, it should be related to the question, no matter what, so that they produce something which is related, okay, related to the question, in order to fulfill what's the instruction is given to them. Okay, so Noraihan, some students might memorize the essays. Yeah, I do understand that situation, and we might see similar essays in other candidate scripts. How should we treat the essays then? Oh gosh, this is the why didn't we ask this question when we did our what is it just now, the cascading of the Penskoran, right? Exactly, yeah. But somehow, even though they do memorize, at certain extent, when they stop or they are unable to memorize, you could actually see the difference in the mistake made in spelling, the missing words, in the sentence, making the sentence distorted. Okay, so somehow you are able to like mark the essay according to the assessment scale given, because even though they memorize, they are bound to make slips. Okay, they are bound to make slips and grammatical mistakes. That's where you could actually see how to place them in the bands according to the assessment scale. So that's my personal opinion. Very good question. I think I should ask that question too. All right. I hope that I'm able I hope that I have the time to ask that. Okay, please share. Okay, sorry. Okay, you can get share. All right, so I'm going to share the last two slides now. It's already 4:36, so I'm going to share the last slide. So before I end everything, thank you so much for giving me the chance and the opportunities, as also to my two fellow friends. All right, Disma, Cikgu Punitan. All right. Thank you to the crowd, to the audience out there for the questions. All right, very challenging. Yeah, and it's raining now. It's raining very heavily. So I'm going to share you before my line goes off. All right. Okay. So I'm going to share it now.
All right. Okay. So,
With that.
Miss Nancy, are you going to share it?
Yeah. Are you going to share it or I'm going to share it? I'm going to share it.
You share it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Miss Disma and Miss Nancy, for the responses. I hope everyone had gained useful input and knowledge in today's session, reading and writing. Teachers, students, and fellow audiences, we have come to the end of our webinar, Kecemerlangan SPM 2021 for the English subject. Once again, we would like to express our appreciation to the learning sector of Sarawak State Education Department for the great effort in organizing this webinar, and not to forget To all teachers in Sarawak, there is also a learning module that had been prepared by the Semarak Kasih 2.0 team and will be uploaded in Gerbang Digital Pembelajaran by JPN soon. Yeah, so this is the QR code for the kehadiran. So I hope all teachers, for the Sarawak teachers, you can scan the QR code for the attendance and for the record for our SPL KPM. And for teachers from outside from Sarawak, you may record your own e-pembelajaran in the SPL KPM. All right, so that's all for today. Thank you for your valuable time. Have a blissful day and stay safe. Fly Kenyalang, fly high. See you again. Thank you.